Good morning, Nelson Countyans. Happy Friday and welcome to the Community Brew Live. We are so excited to hang out with you guys this morning. We have a special edition planned for you all today to celebrate Classroom Leader Love Week. So we're going to recap the week first. So I'm going to toss it over to Chase and let him get us started this morning.
Awesome. Good morning, guys. It's been a fun week here on the Community Brew. Wrapping up the school year and excited about. We did like episode 27 through 31 or something. So we've been doing this a while. It's been a good time. So if you remember back on Monday, we did the Impossible Top 10. That was a really fun episode. That might have been one of my favorites that we've done. It was fun to go back and recap the year and look at Care and Connect and Feast of Things and football games and pride games and all sorts of different things. So that was a really fun experience. Then on Tuesday we had Thomas Nelson SOC, and they kind of led us through their journey this year with SOC retreat and some philanthropic efforts that they had done, and it was a really exciting time as well. Wednesday was Mr. Bradley, and he had a panel with him of teachers and really explored why they went into teaching and what are some things that they've been learning and thinking about, and that was a fun conversation as well. Yesterday was our leaders from Nelson County High School and Legacy Corps, and they shared a lot of the powerful work that's happened not only this year at Nelson County, but kind of one of their projects was really thinking about the last 50 years at Nelson County High School. So excited to continue that work come ahead. So it's been a really fun week, and we're excited to kind of cap this week off with just some celebrations of you guys and celebrations of Classroom Leader Love Week. So here's the deal. I know that every day we have between 40 to 100 people watching live between YouTube and Facebook, and usually about the same 10 to 15 people chat on the chat box. You see the same similar names come up over and over again. So today is not one of those days. You're going to be here. You're going to have to contribute to the chat. It's going to be really important. So here's kind of what we're doing today. We're gonna drop a question into the chat. We'll ask a question, drop it in the chat, and then we've kind of curated some different resources or some different things of people talking about that outside of the chat. So we want to share some of that, but we really want the chat to be a place where you guys are connecting and talking and sharing some stories today, because I think this will be a powerful day for us to be very reflective on who we are in the teaching profession. So, Brooke, did I get all that squared away? All right.
Yes, you did a great job. You did a great job. You guys are going to have to be patient with me because this is like, I'm not kidding you. I literally have like the most windows on my computer ever because we have all of these really cool stories and videos and things to share with you guys today. So I'm excited. I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous.
All right, so we're going to start today. We asked this question, I believe, on Wednesday to that panel. We want to kind of expand it a little bit. You guys have been submitting some of this via a Google form and some other things. So the first question is, why did you become an educator? Right, so it might be a teacher, but you might be in a different role. So why did you become an educator? So we want that to be what we go in the chat here. So I'm going to drop the question in the chat.
And also, we have, we're holding steady at like 25, 30 people over on Facebook land. So, y'all, we're talking to you too. So, definitely want to hear from our friends. I see lots of teachers watching on Facebook. I see you, Abby Smith and Laura Mann, and all you little friends over there on Facebook. So, we're going to call you out too. We want to hear from you all on Facebook.
Awesome. So one of the things that we had you guys do, or we asked people to do, was submit. We had a Google form that we shared with all the teachers. I think we shared it in the Community Brew, and really asked that same question, like what inspired you to become a teacher? What's kind of your story of why you did that? So I thought it would be fun to read a couple of those and sort through that. So Brooke, do you want me to read a couple? Or
I was gonna say, why don't you read one, and then I've got a video that we can show next.
Cool. So I'll read a couple of these that I think are really, really powerful. So let's see here. Julia Taylor, she talks about I teach because I want every child to know someone believes in them. Beth Crow, Sarah Cecil, Jessica Shearhorn, Dan Bradley, Joan Altman, David Sparrow are just some of my heroes. They inspire me to make learning fun and to care for everyone I encounter. We love those people that you named as well, Julia. Shelley Blevins, I teach because the feeling of giving a child hope for the future and seeing their passion spark light bulbs go off and compassion evoke within is a feeling that's unmatchable. I wholeheartedly agree, Shelley. Absolutely. Mary Gagney, I teach because the inquiring minds out there are so eager to learn and the impact that I have on their lives. Although a small part of their life journey, I want to help develop well-rounded contributing members to our society who understand their worth and believe they can make a positive difference in our world. I teach because children make me happy and it excites me to be helping in the development of our future. And last one I'll read is from Ms. Berlinda Stockdale. She says, I teach because I love, in all caps, young people. As a second career teacher, I realized the need for quality gifted minds educators. I was a nurse when our middle child was diagnosed with autism. After his first IEP meeting, I decided that a career as a nurse would not help me or help him. I strive to be the kind of educator that I want so badly for Peyton. In Nelson County, I found my home professionally and literally. The answer to how is yes. And if you guys have never seen Miss Stockdale share her story, it's a really powerful story. And if you're around her for about 2 minutes, you realize the energy and excitement that she brings. So those are some really cool stories to hear about why they teach.
Okay, so I'm going to, we're going to hear from Lacey.
Why do I teach? Well, I think number one reason would be because I care. I care about every single kid that walks through my room, and I want to see them become successful adults. I want to see them succeed in life. I just think there's something about that feeling when you see a kid have that aha moment after you've been teaching them something for maybe weeks or maybe even months, and they finally get that skill that you're trying to teach them. There's just nothing in the world that can replace that feeling in your heart. And it just makes you care so much. And I know I just started my career, but I want to be that teacher that kids think about when someone asks them, who has inspired you in your life? I want them to be able to think about me. And I want them to be able to think that they have a friend that they can come talk to. Academics and paperwork, that's all great. But the real reason that I wanted to be a teacher was to be that person that a kid could count on and to be someone that they can talk to when they need someone, and even to be someone they can rely on when they're not my student anymore. It doesn't matter to me, you're my student or not, I still care about you. And that's why I teach.
Oh, hugs to you, Lacey.
All right. Hi, everybody. Sarah Thurman here. I'm sharing why I teach for Teacher Appreciation Week. And I teach because the experiences I had growing up in school were pretty fabulous. I had great teachers. I had great principals, everyone surrounding me that really cared about me and my experiences. So I pursued that as an adult. As you guys know, maybe you don't know, I started out at Nelson County High School coaching girls basketball and teaching math. And from there, I went to Thomas Nelson High School, taught math, and was the athletic director there and student leadership director there. So I love school. I love being around school. I love teaching, and I love all things education. So happy Teacher Appreciation Week to all my peeps out there. Hope you have a great week, not just this week, but every week. Lane's here with me to support. We love Teacher Appreciation Week. Bye, guys.
Hello, I'm David Sparrow. I'm a social studies teacher at Nelson County High School. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week to all the teachers out there. You want to say happy Teacher Appreciation?
Happy birthday, Celebration.
And that was good. Close enough. This is Emma. My inspiration for becoming a teacher, it stems back to a long time ago. Growing up in Bloomfield, going to Eli Brown Elementary, Bloomfield Middle School, Nelson County High School. I could go through just about every single teacher that I had as far as the motivation, as far as becoming a teacher. But it is.
Yes, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. Yes, Daddy.
It is amazing how much an impact that teachers actually have, and I think that's basically the reason why I became a teacher. The background a lot of our students have, they need more solidarity, they need more support. It's always something very important that we need to look at. But I became a teacher because of the students. Bottom line. Have a great day. Again, happy Teacher Appreciation Week.
That's awesome. So, Mariah Beasley over here on the YouTube chat, she said, "I'm already getting emotional," and I am too. It's one of those things. Like, it's really cool, I think, to hear people share their stories. And I think what's neat about this YouTube is that we get to kind of curate that every morning on the brew. It's recorded, and I think it's going to be powerful to look back on this year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever, and kind of be able to remember the experience of this through that. So the YouTube is awesome. It's going. The chat is really coming on. I'll read a couple. So Amber Irvin, who does just incredible work at OKA, says she never wanted to be a teacher, but a series of events had her subbing and being an IA, and she realized she had a passion for kids and hopes of making a difference. She absolutely does. Mr. Randy Adams became a teacher because agriculture classes and FFA were the most fun he'd ever had. I learned a lot about the world and myself. I made a lot of friends that were good influences. Alyssa Wilkinson, college, I met a student who disclosed a life of trauma, and I connected with her and her school counselor, and I fell in love with the profession. I was able to watch her grow and overcome. That's awesome. Janine Mentor, I teach because I just love working with kids. It's been easier for me to talk and work with adults sometimes than kids. It's easier to work with kids than adults. I've always wanted to make a difference in a child's life. Mark Webster, I teach because at one point a teacher saw something of value in a kid that felt like they didn't really have any, and I remember that feeling, and I want kids to know that someone else is in their corner. Kelsey Berryman, this is a pretty neat one, I thought. I was inspired by a character in a TV show. The teacher on the show worked with her students to navigate through a hard time using literature and history, and it really resonated with me. You guys are absolutely knocking it out of the park over here.
Wait, I have one I want to read. Okay, so I have to read Christy Lynch's. She said, "I was not an ed major and I worked in and out of my field. I was emergency certified to teach biology and loved it from day one. I found my home with teenagers. I love them and they inspire me." And I have to tell you guys, I have to give some special love to Christy because many moons ago when I first started working at the district level, Christy was the very first teacher way back when in Hardin County that allowed me to come into her classroom, and I got to witness firsthand the relationship that Christy has with her students. And it, like, you talk about getting emotional. Like, I have seen kids over and over and over who, Christy has just made such an impact on their life. And then back in the fall, Lauren Bowman was sitting in biology at ECTC, Christy Lynch's classroom, and somehow she's here in Nelson County. I don't know how it happened, but here she is. So much love to you, sis.
Yeah, absolutely. We're grateful for that. So, second question plays on a similar theme, and this is the one that probably brings back. So that brought back some emotional things. This one probably will as well. So the second question is, who were some people that inspired your journey? Right. So let's be reflective and think about the people along the way that really inspired our journey. So I'm gonna take over for a second, if this is all right. So I talked to a few people about this. I know I talked to our literacy specialist about this last summer, I think, when we were meeting. So we all have those people, and I talked on Wednesday. Like, I was lucky enough to grow up in a house with a mom and a dad that just really were educators. They taught me a lot about education, but I was a second career person as well as a pastor. And I started actually coaching middle school football. And I thought, like I love the school setting. I love being around school. I love doing that. And the more that I thought about that, the more that Coach Mark Gary really just, it started inspiring me, inspiring my work. So Coach Gary was that guy that, he was a grown man that taught me what it meant to cry. He was my football and basketball coach. And to this day, he's still one of those people in my life that, if I could aspire to be somebody, that's who I would be. So what I'm going to attempt to do, so I'm already a little emotional, right? So I don't usually get real emotional, but what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to attempt to call him this morning. And he doesn't know I'm calling. I've actually not talked to him on the phone in probably a few years. So he doesn't realize, I don't think, that I'm calling, but I've tried to work it out with his wife. And I just really want to share some gratitude with Coach Gary. So we'll see if we can pull this off. Hopefully he answers. Does that sound okay, Brooke?
Hello?
Coach Gary.
Jason?
What are you doing, Coach?
Sitting on my hind end wishing sun was out.
Well, Coach, I wanted to get. Well, here's what I'm doing. So I'm actually, I'm in Nelson County now, and we do something every morning since we've been in quarantine called the Community Brew Live, and it's kind of like a YouTube Live and Facebook Live situation. So we actually have probably 50 to 70 people that are kind of listening into our conversation this morning. So I know that. Well, so here's why I called. So I hope you've been enjoying retirement. I know you retired last year, and hope you.
I recommend it.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. So here's why I'm calling. So this is actually Teacher Appreciation Week, and on our YouTube Live chat, we've been asking people the kind of people that inspired them on their journey, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk to you about just the impact you had on my life, and just how grateful I am for having been able to be coached by you. And I tell our team all the time up here, I get to work with a lot of really cool people, and but I tell them all the time, Coach Gary was that guy for me. When we think about the teachers, I said I got to have great parents that really poured a lot into my life. But when I think about teaching and the type of teacher and educator I want to be, and type of leader and professional, I always talk about Mark Gary. So this morning, I want to take a little bit of time just to call you and share some gratitude with you for that, and thank you for the tremendous impact you've had on my life. We want to share that with the rest of our district. So anyway.
Dang, man, you're gonna make me cry.
Well, one of the things you taught me was what it meant for grown men to cry. You taught me so many things in my life that I can't begin to share gratitude enough with.
Well, it's a two-way street too, Jason. I mean, you were a wonderful light in my life, as well as your daddy. He taught me a lot as a man. He was a part of the man I became. That's pretty cool. But you say I was yours too. I mean, I was hoping I was back then.
Well, it's definitely a journey with me, Coach. You've been a huge impact in my life. I mean that, and I think about you often. And every once in a while, I'll tell a Mark Gary story if I need, an example of something. I've got a lot in my pocket. So But
yeah, don't kill too many of them.
well, I just wanted to call and share that with you this morning, Coach, and hope life's treating you well. And I'm not going to get off here and finish doing this recording, but just wanted to call and have that conversation with you this morning.
Well, I appreciate that. You brought a lot of joy to my life, and we had a really good run together during those years. And I'm really proud of you. I keep up with you, what you're doing. I'm really, really proud of you, Chase Everett. I think that, I had the respect for you as a man when you were a young man because I knew what your capabilities were, and that's probably why I pushed you so hard when I did coaching you. But, I'm really proud of the man you've become, so you should be proud of that.
Well, thanks, Coach.
And I'm glad I was a part of that, and I totally credit you with it, and your parents, great parents.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Coach, man. I love you, and glad I got to talk to you this morning.
I always love you, man.
All right, Coach. I'll talk to you soon.
You call me anytime.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Glad the world got to be introduced to Coach Mark Gary. He's a character for sure. He's one of the few people that'll get away with calling me Chase Everett, but
I know. I'm gonna put that in my back pocket. And now, we're all just sitting here going, "What do we do now?" Everybody's crying, and how do we even continue after that?
so here's what I would say. Mark he's a special person. I remember last year when he retired. He coached middle school football. You imagine middle school football. I mean, the pains that have to go into coaching that. He coached middle school football for 20 plus years, and last year he retired. And it was a parade of people that would share similar stories about Mark Gary. I think my encouragement would be, we share gratitude with each other, and we're reflective during these weeks. If those people are still alive, you have a connection with the teachers, the people, the person. I think take some time today over the next few days to connect with them, express that gratitude to them, because sometimes we don't realize that life is short. I don't remember the quote, but someone said, I think it was actually the Office quote, Brooke. Andy said, I wish they would tell us that when it was the good old days. I wish they would tell us during the middle of it that it was the good old days. I think that's true with us. We look at when I was in high school, I couldn't wait to be in college. When I was in college, I couldn't wait to be an adult. You look back and you're like, man, those were sweet memories with people. So that would be my encouragement for us.
Absolutely. And just reading the comments over here on YouTube, it's just, seeing these people and the impact that, these people may not even have realized that they've made on the lives of, our Nelson County leaders out there. So it's just, before the world shut down, we had an event, and I'm all about my sheroes and thanking my sheroes, and it's just so emotional, and it makes you wonder, why do we not do this more often, because it's so impactful to just speak the actual words of gratitude and just let people know the difference they've made in your life.
I think what's powerful too about the profession, I think we're going to get to this for kind of wrap it up. This will be a good transition maybe. But I think what's powerful about the teaching profession is that it's, you'll have kids one day that will do the same thing, right? There will be kids that you've taught, that you've had, that you've mentored, you've poured your life into, that will do that. I remember a couple years ago when my father passed away. My father was an educator. He was an educator for, I think he spent 40 plus years in some capacity in education. And during his funeral, it was lined up with people telling stories. It was hours upon hours of people just coming through. And it's largely because the impact that he had on so many kids for 40 plus years. That's the power of teaching, right? We get to, not only do we have people in our life that's poured in, but every single day we get to influence the life of a kid. And that's just, I think that's an awesome opportunity, but it's also a burden, right? It's a thing that we have to carry and do it well. So anyway, that kind of transitions a little bit to kind of our piece around, like, one of the things that we asked was for students and teachers, or students and families, to share gratitude with some of our NCS teachers. And they did that in a variety of ways. We had several that submitted on the Google form, and they had quite a few people through there. It looks like we had almost 30 responses on there, and then I know we had several of our Flipgrid. So, Brooke, I don't know if you want to show some Flipgrid videos first, and then we can.
Let's do it.
I like Miss Howell. I don't know why, but I did like Miss Howell. Thank you, Miss Green, for being very nice and letting us have very fun in the years at school. Bye. Bye. I didn't do it yet.
Hey. You gotta love kids, man. I love it. I love it. Chase, you want to read one? I'll pull up a couple more.
Yeah. All right. So, this one was for Miss Ruiz at OKH, from Renee and Faith Shannon. Miss Ruiz has gone above and beyond to help foster my daughter's love of art in the past. Faith has been discouraged with her style. Sorry, this is hard to, like, when you scroll, it messes it up. But Miss Ruiz has encouraged her to pursue any and all forms of art. Faith has grown so much under her guidance and can't wait to get back to school to continue. Thank you so much, Miss Ruiz, for the love that you gave Faith of art. And I think if you know Miss Ruiz, she's a powerhouse. I'll read this one too. So Karen Boblet, who is works at the ELC, she's incredible. If you don't know Miss Karen, she said, my gratitude, and I think some of y'all may feel this. My gratitude goes out to a retiree of the Nelson County Schools. It was Terry Terrell. Says, Terry, I hope this finds you well, and if you're out there, and if not, I'll let others know how great you are. I want to thank you and tell you how much I appreciate your loving, caring personality, how you allowed your true self to flow through to your students. As the first educator, my child, I could not have been more happy and blessed that it was you. You understood that children were little humans who deserved respect, a chance to learn in their own way, needed acceptance and love no matter their background. You were first outside our home to be the caring, nurturing educator, to offer endless possibilities. You're so genuine, and you go the extra mile for children. Thank you for being you and sharing your amazing self with my children and all of our children. So that's pretty cool. That was to a retired teacher.
Oh, all right. Let's see what we got here.
My current Connect teacher is Miss Runner. She's very awesome. I like her, and I miss her so much. She is so sweet. Bye. Hi, Miss Miles. I love being in the class a whole bunch because you read us, let us make crafts like the hats we made, and you teach us about lots of animals. I miss you, Miss Miles.
Oh, man.
Miss 19 for teaching music. Bye. Go. My teachers at Foster Heights, Miss Megan, Miss Jessica, are one of the best teachers in the world, and I love them so much. And I love them so much. But
I mean, how much do you love these little people? Are they not so cute?
That's awesome. You know, so Stephanie Robinson over here in the comments, she said, I hate that this is just half an hour. And I agree. We could have probably done this for a long time today. There's lots of good stuff on that Flipgrid, and those responses. And it's nice we have them curated. We'll figure out something cool to do with the rest of them because there was a lot of really powerful comments. So kind of wanted to end today thinking about who are some people inside of Nelson County schools that you guys work with every day, that you see lead in the classroom, that you see teach, that you guys want to share gratitude with. And I think we can do that pretty quick in the comments. And then we can read some of those as kind of our ending point today. I'll start since I'm on here. There's lots of people I get the privilege of working with. I get to work with across a bunch of schools and across a lot of different things, and we've shared some of those people. But I'm going to actually share gratitude with Brooke because, like, a month ago or a month and a half ago, we're like, we need to do something in the mornings with Community Brew. And Brooke has a really powerful way of the answer to how is yes. Like, I come up with an idea. Sometimes it's kind of crazy. And Brooke kind of supports that idea and makes it happen. And I don't think you guys realize the amount of things that go in behind the scenes to bring this to life and for us to be able to do this. So, Brooke, it's been fun over the past 31 episodes to partner with you and make some magic. It's good stuff.
Oh, thank you. That was a fun little surprise. I never know like what you're gonna say when like my name comes out of your mouth. It's always like, ooh, what's it gonna be? Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I think about who I want to share gratitude with kind of in this moment. And I don't know if she's watching right now, but I want to share gratitude with Lauren Bowman. I'm single momming over here in my tiny apartment with 2 children and NTI and live streaming TV broadcast in the morning and all kinds of madness. And I've just not been a very good leader. And Lauren, like, is just one of those individuals that you just don't have to like say things. She finds things that need to be done and she does them. And she has kept, people talk about behind the scenes, like the foundation and the charitable gaming license. Like, it's been madness, and Lauren has just really stepped up, and I am so proud to work with her, and I'm so proud of her. So, love you, sis. If you're watching, you want to read some comments?
Yeah, they're starting to come in over here. Amy Cundiff shared with Jenny Kidwell. She doesn't mind going off on a tangent with me. She's done it for 20 years and only sometimes gets irritated. Love her. Brooke, you got some shout outs from Renee Hedges. You did an amazing job. Jessica Sparrow, such a creative vision. Mary Gagney, I get to work in a classroom at Foster Heights, and every teacher there inspires me with their work and love for students. Lissa Wilkinson, gratitude shout out to Angie Chandler. Thank you for taking me under your wing this year, making sure I survived my first year in education. Will be dearly missed, and NC enjoy retirement. I echo that, Alyssa. Angie's, she's solid in a lot of ways, and we're definitely going to miss her. But glad that she gets to start the new journey for retirement. Jennifer Logston, Kathy Strunk, Samantha Rife, Kristen Morgan, my team. Love my team. Shout out to PJ Metcalf and Natalie Hurst. Stephanie Robinson, thank you, NCS, for opportunities you provide me, making this NTI transition more comfortable. Thank you, Melissa Case, too. She's Missy Case, definitely a rock star as well. Sonia Zelke, talking about the admin team at Cox's Creek. Haley, Michelle, Kelsey, yes, we love them too. They're great. Janine Mentor, Jenna Dillman, she's one of the greatest people I've ever met. Even though I could almost be her mom, I've learned so much from her as a teacher and a person. So lots of good stuff continuing to come in. I think once again, so let's say that people have homework today. There's 2 pieces of homework. You got to try to connect with that teacher, that person in your life that really inspired you. And then, so the rules of gratitude are that it needs to be a person. So find that person in Nelson County Schools and call, connect, send an email, send a card, do something to share gratitude. That'll be a powerful statement today. It's been a fun Leader Love Week, Brooke.
I know. It has been so fun. I am just tickled. I will say, like, the community brews have been like the highlight of my day for sure. Just connecting with everybody in the comments and the Facebook and everything. So,
Yeah.
we will be back though next week, 3 days.
Yeah, so we've got some special students that are going to be on here for the final 3 days. It's kind of our senior send off, and got some fun things playing with them on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then I want to encourage you guys, like, we're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at school. We're coming back for backpack days the following week. But that next Thursday and Friday, next weekend, hopefully it'll be nice outside. Really take some time to rejuvenate yourself. You guys are going 100 miles an hour. It's been a crazy year and crazy time, but I love the teachers and educators and leaders in Nelson County schools. You guys do amazing work. So with that, we'll see you guys next Monday, 8:30.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. See you guys soon.
See ya.